Have you ever noticed how some people seem lighter, calmer, and happier after 70, even when they stop relying on friends or social gatherings for their joy? At first, it sounds strange. Society has always told us that friendships are essential for happiness, that staying socially active is the key to a long, fulfilled life. But as we age, something shifts. Many people in their 70s discover a surprising truth. Peace doesn't come from a large social circle or constant companionship. It comes from simplifying life, focusing on what really matters, and learning to enjoy your own company. In today's video, we're going to explore 5 powerful reasons why letting go of unnecessary social expectations, and in some cases, even friendships, can transform your later years. By the end, you'll understand why a quieter, more selective approach to relationships can make your life lighter, freer, and far more peaceful. Let's begin. 1. Emotional independence. After 70, one of the greatest strengths you can cultivate is emotional independence. Many seniors don't realize how much unhappiness comes from depending on others to feel valued, loved, or needed. When you were younger, friendships revolved around shared experiences, raising children, working side by side, attending community events. These connections often shaped your sense of identity. But as life changes, children grow, work ends, communities shift, those shared experiences fade. Holding on to old friendships can become emotionally exhausting. Emotional independence is about learning to find satisfaction within yourself. It's the freedom to feel complete without constant validation from others. Think of it this way. When you can enjoy your own company, you stop relying on someone else to fill your emotional space. Silence is no longer loneliness. It's space for reflection, healing, and self-discovery. Those who thrive in their 70s and beyond are often the ones who have mastered this skill. They no longer feel disappointment when friends don't call or visit. They're no longer entangled in drama or unmet expectations. Instead, they channel their energy into the things that truly matter: health, hobbies, reflection, and inner peace. Here's a simple practice to begin cultivating emotional independence. Every day, take 10 minutes to sit quietly and simply enjoy your own presence. No distractions, no phone, no television, just you. Notice how your mind settles. Notice how calmness grows when you're not seeking approval or entertainment from others. Over time, this small practice can transform your perspective. 2. Less stress and drama. After 70, peace becomes far more valuable than popularity. Many seniors mistakenly believe they must maintain the same number of friendships they had in their 40s or 50s. But every relationship carries some level of emotional labor, expectations, obligations, and sometimes even drama. Friendships can bring stress as easily as they bring joy, especially if they're imbalanced. Some friends complain constantly, gossip, or drain your energy with negativity. Others may only reach out when they need something. When you were younger, you may have tolerated this to avoid being alone. But after 70, your time and emotional energy are too precious to waste on people who drain rather than uplift. Reducing your social circle doesn't mean you're becoming antisocial. It means you're becoming selective. You start to understand that not everyone deserves access to your mental and emotional space. Science even supports this. Chronic emotional stress increases inflammation, weakens the immune system, and can accelerate aging. Peaceful solitude, on the other hand, lowers stress hormones, improves sleep quality, and supports overall well-being. When you release friendships that no longer serve you, you'll notice an immediate difference. Your days feel lighter. You no longer feel the pressure to please, to listen to complaints, or to pretend you enjoy interactions that leave you drained. Instead, you reclaim your time and energy. You have space for your own health, your home, your hobbies, and your passions. This is not loneliness, it's wisdom in practice. 3. Shifting priorities and energy. By the time you reach your 70s, your body, mind, and spirit begin to crave simplicity. You've spent decades giving your energy to others, work, family, friends, community. Now your priorities shift. You begin to see that not everyone who walked with you through earlier seasons of life is meant to continue into this one. Some friendships that once made sense now feel like obligations. Others only appear when they need something, and rarely when you do. Recognizing this imbalance is liberating. It teaches you to protect your energy, conserve your emotional resources, and invest in yourself. Filling your days with restorative activities, morning walks, reading, reflection, meditation, gardening, listening to music, helps you regain peace and clarity. You start to notice how much lighter life feels when you no longer expend energy maintaining relationships that drain you. This isn't about being lonely or isolated. It's about choosing the people, routines, and activities that nourish you. True transformation happens when you stop chasing connection and start cultivating contentment. Solitude becomes a healing space, a chance to reconnect with yourself and rediscover what really matters. 4. Freedom from social obligation. One of the most liberating aspects of aging is realizing that you no longer owe anyone your time. For decades, invisible social expectations may have shaped your life. Attending events, answering calls, maintaining friendships. But now, your time is sacred. You have earned the right to say no without guilt, to prioritize peace over appearances, and to protect your well-being over social expectations. There is a profound difference between connection and obligation. Connection nourishes. Obligation drains. Many seniors continue to stretch themselves thin simply out of habit, attending events they don't enjoy, listening to complaints they don't need, or forcing polite conversation. But imagine a life without that pressure. Imagine being selective about who you engage with and spending your days on activities that energize and uplift you. This is not loneliness, it is reclaiming power. It is saying, I don't need to prove my worth through others anymore. When you protect your time and space, you'll notice your energy returning. You'll experience freedom and calm in a way you haven't for years. Peace, in this sense, is a gift you give yourself, an invisible luxury that transforms your quality of life. 5. The joy of inner peace. Finally, the most profound reason you don't need friends after 70 is the joy of inner peace. As we age, our understanding of happiness changes. It no longer depends on social gatherings, laughter with friends, or shared experiences. Joy becomes quieter, deeper, and more sustainable. It's found in small moments. Watching the sunrise, tending your plants, listening to rain, savoring a warm cup of tea, reading a favorite book, or simply breathing. When you stop chasing friendships that no longer fit, you create space for stillness, a powerful restorative stillness. Solitude allows reflection, gratitude, forgiveness, and self-awareness. It reconnects you with the person you were before the noise, the expectations, and the pressures of the world. Loneliness and solitude may look the same to an outsider, but they feel completely different. Loneliness arises from wanting company and not having it. Solitude is peace, contentment, and freedom. Those who embrace solitude age gracefully. They stop measuring their worth by others' presence or approval. They live gently, love quietly, and find joy in simply being alive. One of the most common fears after 70 is feeling alone. But here's the truth. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness is a feeling of emptiness, a lack of connection. Solitude, on the other hand, is a choice, a peaceful, restorative space where you reconnect with yourself. Many seniors who have mastered solitude describe it as a quiet sanctuary. It is a time for reflection, for creativity, for small joys that never needed anyone else to feel meaningful. To embrace solitude without feeling lonely, start small. Create a daily solo ritual, a morning cup of tea, journaling, or simply sitting by the window watching the world wake up. Practice mindfulness, notice your thoughts without judgment. Observe your breath. Listen to birds, rain, or the wind. These small acts anchor you in the present moment. Rediscover hobbies, painting, reading, gardening, or learning an instrument. Hobbies don't require approval or companionship. They are self-contained joy. Celebrate small victories. Did you finish a puzzle? Cook a new recipe? Take a 10-minute walk outside? These moments build satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. Here's a story. Margaret, 72, shared that after retiring and losing many of her close friends, she felt the urge to reach out constantly, trying to fill a social void. Then she began a practice. Every morning she spent 15 minutes in her garden, quietly observing the flowers and birds. Within weeks, she noticed she was calmer, happier, and more energetic. She didn't need constant social interaction anymore. Her joy came from within. 7. Cultivating daily peace habits. To thrive after 70, peace must become a daily practice. Small habits, repeated consistently, compound over time. Here are some of the most effective daily habits for seniors. Morning reflection. Begin each day with 5-10 minutes of gratitude. List 3 things you appreciate: your health, your home, or the simple beauty around you. Mindful movement. Gentle stretching, yoga, or walking not only keeps your body healthy but also helps clear your mind. Digital boundaries. Limit unnecessary phone calls or social media scrolling. Protect your energy from the constant demands of others. Quiet creativity. Journaling, sketching, or listening to music for personal enjoyment, not for sharing with anyone. Evening wind down. Before bed, spend 10 minutes tidying your personal space, reflecting on the day, and preparing mentally for tomorrow. These daily practices aren't chores, they're acts of self-care. They reinforce the understanding that your well-being comes first, that your time and energy are yours to protect. 8. Learning to say no gracefully. One of the greatest freedoms you gain after 70 is the ability to say no. Many seniors feel pressured to maintain appearances, attend events, or keep old social obligations alive. But each yes you give drains energy, often without joy in return. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. It's about choosing where your energy goes and protecting your peace. Here's an example. Suppose an acquaintance invites you to a lunch that you know will be filled with complaints and drama. Instead of feeling obligated, you politely decline. Then you spend that hour walking in the park, reading, or listening to music. You return home refreshed. That small decision, repeated consistently, reshapes your emotional life. Saying no creates boundaries. Boundaries create respect. Respect creates inner calm. 9. Quality over quantity in relationships. After 70, it's no longer about the number of friends. It's about the quality of connections. One meaningful conversation with a loved one can provide more fulfillment than hours of socializing with acquaintances who drain your energy. Here's a simple strategy. Identify 3-5 people who truly lift you up. These are your core connections. They may be family, old friends, or neighbors. Invest time in these relationships, not out of obligation, but because they bring genuine joy. Release connections that feel like a chore or stress. This isn't cruelty, it's care for your mental health. This strategy ensures your social energy is spent wisely. You'll notice that life feels lighter when you no longer feel pulled in multiple directions. 10. Letting go of the past. Many seniors hold onto relationships out of nostalgia. We've been friends for decades, they say, but sometimes the past is not the present. Holding onto friendships that no longer fit can block your growth and peace. Letting go doesn't erase memories. It honors them while freeing you to live in the now. Think of it as pruning a tree. By removing old branches, the tree grows stronger and healthier. By releasing outdated connections, you create space for your own well-being, self-discovery, and joy. Here's a story. John, 75, had been keeping in touch with a friend who constantly criticized his choices. Out of loyalty, he endured the stress for years. One day, he chose to step back, focusing instead on his garden and reading. Within months, John felt lighter, happier, and healthier. His life didn't shrink, his space for joy grew. 11. Finding joy in the simple moments. The ultimate secret of thriving after 70 is learning to find joy in simple, everyday experiences. Watching the sunrise or sunset. Drinking a cup of tea while listening to birds. Feeling the warmth of the sun on your face. Walking barefoot on grass. Reading a book for pleasure. Listening to your favorite music. When you stop seeking happiness in external validation, approval, attention, or social gatherings, you discover that life is rich in moments that were always there, waiting to be noticed. Happiness becomes your choice, not a consequence of other people's presence. Solitude is not emptiness, it is fullness, peace, and freedom. 12. Strengthening inner resilience. As we age, life inevitably presents challenges. Health concerns, loss of loved ones, or changes in circumstances. Emotional independence and solitude build resilience. When you rely less on others for validation, you learn to trust yourself. You find solutions without being drained by unnecessary input. You maintain control over your reactions, thoughts, and energy. Resilient seniors bounce back faster from stress. They experience lower anxiety, deeper satisfaction, and a richer appreciation for life. They understand that control is not about manipulating the outside world, it's about mastering your internal world. 13. Embracing a life of freedom. Freedom is the greatest gift after 70. Freedom from unnecessary obligations, from drama, from social pressure. Freedom to spend your time exactly as you choose, to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Do you want to spend the morning gardening instead of attending a noisy gathering? Go for it. Do you want to read a book instead of answering calls that drain you? That's your choice. Do you want to sit quietly by the window and watch the world? Absolutely. Freedom allows you to live fully without compromise. It's not selfish, it's self-respect. 14. Final thoughts. As you age, peace of mind becomes the greatest luxury. It's earned through decades of work, learning, challenges, and growth. By letting go of unnecessary friendships and social expectations, you reclaim time, energy, and emotional calm. After 70, life is not about adding more people or activities to your plate. It's about removing what no longer serves you, simplifying your social world, and focusing on inner peace. Seek emotional independence. Reduce stress by being selective with relationships. Shift your priorities toward self-nourishing activities. Set boundaries and say no gracefully. Let go of the past. Embrace solitude as a gift. Celebrate small joys daily. When you follow these principles, life becomes lighter, freer, and richer in meaning. Solitude is not emptiness. It is wisdom. It is strength. It is the freedom to enjoy every moment, every breath, and every sunrise. Your peace, your calm, and your happiness do not depend on anyone else. They have always been within you. White heavy checkmark call to action. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment below and share one insight you plan to apply today. Your story could inspire someone else. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to get more content that empowers seniors to live freely, calmly, and fully. Remember, life after 70 can be the most peaceful and fulfilling chapter yet, if you focus on what truly matters, protect your energy, and embrace your own company. Please subscribe my YouTube channel.